Seville's Samir Nasri and Leicester's Jamie Vardy clash heads in the Foxes' 2-0 Champions League last 16 win on Tuesday night. The exchange saw both players receive a yellow card, meaning Nasri was sent off for a second bookable offence, 15 minutes from time. Nasri came out after the game, saying Vardy is a cheat and should play like a man. This asks the question, do sports stars influence the behaviour of students on and off the pitch as role models? We went to find out.
Well, it gives me like self-confidence because he's obviously like one of the smallest people fighting in the UFC, but he goes against like big guys like 6 foot and plus, and so the way if he can fight them and like still have the confidence to go through, and the way he like enters the ring, he's really confident about it. So it gives me confidence when I'm watching him. So that goes into my work in a bit.
My sporting role model is Muhammad Ali, and he's my sporting role model because of his story and his persistence in religion and for what he thinks is right.
My role model is Joe Root. He gives me a good someone to look up to and then try and mimic when I'm playing cricket or when I'm off the field, just how to behave and interact with others.
We spoke to Mr. Neil, a PE teacher and head of year at John Hampden Grammar School.
Well, I think a lot of boys look up to sportsmen as role models, so their behaviour on and off the pitch has a great influence on how they behave in school and outside lessons and outside of school as well. I think it's a tough one because at the end of the day they are sports stars, that's what their skill set is. What they've got to realise is how many boys, girls look up to them, and what they do on and off the pitch really influences that. For example, I think rugby players show quite good etiquette in terms of respecting rules, following the rules of play, and if they break the rules, they are better at accepting the outcome from referees. I'd say tennis is another good example of that. Any kind of rudeness to an umpire and you'll get yourself a ban and you won't be able to play. Whereas in football, there's more of a culture of being able to argue back. Dissent is commonplace. Although there is more coming into play with more yellow cards with that, I still feel they could set a better example on the pitch. First things first, it's very petulant in my mind. Quite a typical football thing to happen. They're kind of fronting up, I'm the big man, and then a little nudge and they're down on the floor play acting. To me, that is not what being a sportsman is about. It's about being brave, it's about being courageous, doing everything for your team within the rules of the game. The diving and rolling around, I think, is completely not on. In terms of the sanctions, I think that's fair. Both yellow card for interrupting play, for the misconduct that they showed, but it shouldn't be happening in the first place as far as I'm concerned.
It is clear the sport is universal, from the playground to PE lessons to cup finals. Sports stars have a direct impact on young people. Role models need to act sensibly, with respect, especially when playing fairly in sport. Some are good at this, but some are lacking behind. Whether good or bad, these role models are in the centre circle on show to the world. James, BBC School Report, John Hampden Grammar School.